Welcome everyone. Today I have a special Path of Exile 2 crafting guide. Now looking behind me, you can see tons of different currencies, tons of different items, and also together over here, you can see I have written pages of notes collected from the Reddit and also community with different summaries of what you can do at each stage of the game with different items, how can you use those for crafting. I also have advices for easy to follow step-by-step guide, which I'll show you guys live in the demonstration in the video. And also we have researches of the price comparison of how to turn some items with 10 to 20 or 30 exalt into items with 3 or 5 divine. We'll also be referring back to our previous crafting videos about mods and also affixes and how you can be rolling and also crafting into plus skills and also certain affixes that can sell for a lot of currency. So this video is going to be a mega guide for crafting, whether you're a beginner for crafting or if you want to make some currencies or if you want to craft a good piece of gear for yourself. Hopefully this video can help you in those aspects. Now, because I have tried to prepare a lot of information for you guys, if you find the video a little longer, guys, use the timestamp below for each part of crafting. The first part will cover the basic of crafting, what are those orbs used for, and when you can use those orbs, which is essential. The second part of the crafting guide, I'll be explaining to you guys a short and also simple method. A lot of my friends has been making over 10-20 divines because of this and saving tons of divines on good gears. A lot of my items are crafted this way, and instead of paying for 5 to 10 divine, I'm making those for about 50 to 30 exalt, which is amazingly cheap. And yes, I'll go through those methods and also step by step with you guys on the second part. Now, before we start, if you guys haven't seen the previous crafting guide, I really do recommend you have a watch of this one, because this one will teach you how to spot the affixes, the prefix of the items, how to count for those, and also how to look into what are the leftover spots for those gear crafting. This is the basic understanding of crafting gears, and if you guys are not sure about this, I strongly recommend watching the previous video. And in that previous video, the amulet I crafted from that previous video actually sold for 4 divine. I bought this amulet for about 5 exalt, and this is crazy profitable, right? So I really want to share all the method with you guys. So coming over to our first part of the notes, the basic for crafting. You might have heard of this, and if you haven't, this is a great time to learn about this. So we'll be using a lot of orbs over here, as you can see. Now those orbs are situational, including essence. They're situations that they can be used. This essence here allows us to convert normal item to magical items with more guaranteed modifiers. There's also essence that converts magical item to rare items. There's items that adds affix to magical items. There's items that converts them into rare items. So the bigger question is when and also how you should be using it. And here we do have a great question and also summary coming from this Reddit post. And I want to say a big thank you for juicedrop over here for the mega summary guide over here. So I have color coded this a little bit and also added a bit of my own notes. So for the Orb transmutation, you can be adding modifiers to items and making this one magical. This is very standard. You can use Orb transmutation on a normal item, or you can be using the lesser essence. The essence you see over here are lesser essences, and this one craft normal items into magical items with more certainty. Well, it is cheaper to use Orb transmutation. So one of the bigger focus you need to understand with crafting is at what stage do you stop? This is an important question we need to understand, because the more we craft, the more affix and things we try to do it, it becomes more advanced and also more costly in the process to keep going. So the start of the crafting is always the cheapest method that gives us some certainty. And gears like those, for example, have +3 minion skills, and this means I have more certainty this gear, even if it crafts badly, it can still be resold. This is an important factor, and I have been picking up a lot of gears. And yes guys, I'll teach you guys how to filter for those gears, because they can be selling for very, very cheap, like 5 or 10 exalt, and sometimes they can sell for much, much more. So you can see these gears can be selling for a lot cheaper if you know when and also how to pick those up. So coming back to our notes. Now what we're looking at is often we can be crafting item into magical grid and adding affixes onto the magical grid without argumentation. So those are the items over here, as you can see. Now after you make items into magical grid, if you like what you see, well, of course at the start this is very cheap. So those parts are much more cheaper, and if you like what you see, then you can use other orbs like regular orbs or greater essences for crafting them into rare items. Now at this stage of the crafting, it gets a little more expensive because as you can see from the start, the more further you go with crafting, the more expensive items you get. And of course, the more expensive the crafting materials. So at the start, those things are much cheaper, but with regular orbs and also greater essences, it gets more costly. Greater essences allows us to turn items into rares and also give us more certainty with the affixes of the rare items. Now at this stage, you can also skip this process and then directly use Orb of Alchemy, and this will directly take a normal item into a rare item. Once items are rare, it becomes even more expensive to craft more modifiers. So this is when Exalted Orb is used, and this is when every item, most of the items you can see are selling for Exalted Orbs, because those items are majorly used for crafting and also adding new affixes, which are very random and can give you something really good. And at this stage of the game, you should understand you can have a maximum of 6 affixes or 6 modifiers. So if you look at the gears, you can have 3 prefix and also 3 suffix. Sometimes you can get all skills and sometimes you can get a massive boost of spirit depending on the type of item. This was explained in the previous video. Please do take some time, use the timestamps to watch that part because this is quite important. Now, once items are rare and you craft those with Exalted Orbs, you can also remove a modifier and then add a new modifier with Chaos Orb. This is when items already have 6 affixes and you want to kind of get lucky with some of those affixes and you want to remove some of the bad ones. This is more towards gambling because the previous method only add on top of the existing affixes. So it goes from 3 to 4 to 5 and this goes from 5 to 6. But once you have 6 modifiers, you have to try to remove some of them. And this is when the randomness and also RNG comes in. Now there are multiple ways of removing affixes. Chaos Orb is one of the cheapest options because it removes one, it adds one. And this is when you can get lucky with some good rolls. This can be combined with Omens for some guaranteed changes, but the Omens are much more costly, which we'll talk about on the next part. There's another way of removing affixes, which are the Orb of Annulment, and this allows you to remove a random modifier. This can also be combined with Omens for more guaranteed removal, but this item is more expensive than the Chaos Orb. Chaos Orb at the moment about 2.5 Exalt, and the Orb of Annulment is about 7 Exalt. So this first part summarizes how you can get a normal item to magical items, and how you can get a magic item to rare items, and how you can get a rare item to 6 affixes, and then how you can play around with affixes. If this seems a little confusing, don't worry guys, on the final part I'll teach you guys step by step how we do this and how to make this profitable. So the first part I'll try to explain everything to you guys. The second part about crafting is actually enhancing gear quality, gem quality. So Other Fire's Orb will allow you to add sockets to weapon and also armors. Sometimes adding sockets to item will help it to sell on the market or make your item stronger. Similarly, you can be enhancing the quality of your items and also your gems up to 20%. And those should be kept in mind because sometimes when items that sells for higher price because they have 20% quality and it's also socketed with increasing energy shield can actually sell for a lot more value. I'll give you guys an example over here. So this gear, I actually personally craft this one to quality 20 and then added 2 socket. So the energy shield goes up to 550. Sometimes people will search for the highest energy shield and this pushes the price further for this item. I'm selling this one for 60 Exalt. I started crafting this one for about 10 Exalt. So there are ways you can be pushing items higher for higher price if you know how to increase the quality and know which gems to be socketing for those items. Now finally, there are a number of special orbs like the Divine Orb, the Val Orb, or the Chance Orb. So you can see some of those orbs over here with the Val, with the Chances, and also Divine Orb. Those orbs have certain actions towards items, and usually this can randomize all the rolls, but I don't recommend using Divine Orb unless you really know what you're doing and having an item that is worth over 10 Divine. The Chance Orb is a gambling, while Val Orbs are also gambling. We'll have focus videos about gambling for those orbs because something can go very right or very wrong. I have had friends who made over 100 Divine using those orbs, and I also have friends losing over 50 or 100 Divine because of they keep gambling using those items. So this will be covered in the future because this is too random for crafting. I don't want you guys to be gambling when you're crafting. Now you might have seen in our previous video, there are also meta crafting using omens. I don't have any omens on me at the moment, but there are omens that does predictive things which allows you to enhance gambling. So for example, the Omens allows you to have double chances of removing the bad affixes you don't want. There's Omens that allows you to have more chances of certainty to remove combined with the Chaos Orb, which allows you to reroll and also remove the affixes you don't want. And those Omens can be extremely expensive. Omens can sell anywhere from 50 Exalt to 10 Divine. So if you're crafting and you're starting crafting, I don't recommend trying meta crafting, because unless you know what you're doing, the Omens actually cost more than the items you're crafting. So this is very, very important. But that said, guys, if you have seen our previous video, or if you haven't, I do recommend you to have a look. Not only we talk about dupes and also exploits and also how this can scam you out of your currency, there's also one of the best items that was crafted by one of the famous Path of Exile 1 crafters, Bolton. And he crafted this particular quiver, and this quiver is crafted with Omens. Each time he uses Omens, it costs over 10 Divine. He spent over 500 to 1000 Divine crafting that item, but that item can worth thousands of Divine. So yes, the ultra late game, when you know what you're doing, will be covering on Omens and how to do this correctly, because this is how people make the biggest currency, making thousands of Divines within 1 to 2 days. Now over here, there's a lot more to crafting with Reforging and also, as I mentioned, with Val Orbs and also Corruption, but we'll be covering on this on the future videos because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So now that we touched the basics, I do want to say a special thank you again to juicedrop for sharing those summary notes, and I also helped to color code and also add on to this a little bit, but most of them were coming from him. And this is a great summary for players getting into crafting and also understanding the basics. So now that we talk about the basics, of course, I'm not going to leave you guys to do it by yourself, because I want to step by step teach you guys with live example. So my question to myself is, what is an easy to follow method that is cost efficient? I don't want you guys to be wasting 10, 20 Exalt or like 1 to 2 Divine when trying crafting and wasting your currency. So what is a cost efficient method? And here I'll share a few of my method, and also my friend uses this method as well. They have made 10 or 30 Divine. I'm not joking, guys. This is one of the best and so cheapest method. And let's go through this one. So one of the most cost efficient method is actually to find or actually buy magical or rare item grade items on the market. And here I have filtered for the amulet I was searching. So one of the basic search for the amulet is to search for a particular skill rank. If you're playing rangers, maybe projectile skills, here I'm playing summoners, so the maximum rank for minions is 3. If you want to check what are the maximum ranks, I have the links available for you guys to have a check, so you can see what are the ranks for what skills you can be getting for your amulet, for your build. And using those filters, once you filter this by Exalted Orb instead of Divine, if you do this by Divine, everything's 1 Divine, right? And this is what the filter automatically shows. One of the secret is you filter this by Exalted Orbs, and sometimes they even sell for Orb of Argumentation and also regular Orbs. So you can pick up some good items cheaper if you know how to filter for those items. So once you filter for those items, you can see most of the prices for those items are a little higher. But what we're doing is, instead of buying those outright, especially don't buy corrupted because you can't craft it. So let's see. Oh crap. Okay, this is a 40 Exalt. The price definitely went up a little bit since the start of the day. But at the start of the day, as you guys saw earlier, I was trying to buy them for 1 to 30 Exalt. So around this time, you click on live search, and this will show you everything, right? But here I'll be searching for anything under 30 Exalt. And there's nothing there, but I activated live search. I do have a trading guide to teach you guys about this. So this is how I was able to pick up tons of those amulets for 1 to 30 Exalt. And no joke, guys, over the period of 2 days, I pick up over 15 of those, and I even filtered some. So you can see there's a lot of amulets I have picked up. Now, around this time, when you are picking items with a key affix, you want to be aware there's certain weightings on certain affixes. From what our viewers have said, not all the affixes are weighted equally. It is more common for certain affixes to appear, but less common for the more rare ones like Spirit, or maybe less common, especially less common for the super rare ones like the plus skill rank. So how you want to approach this is, you'll be buying items that already have the most important, the rarest, the hardest to find affix ready on the items. So my example over here is, I want +3 minion skills, and all the items I'm buying will majority have +3 to minion skills. And those items actually sold for about, how much was that? They sold for about 20 Exile, 10 Exile, so I was buying them for pretty cheap. Of course, there's some items I just bought because I want to try other things like +2 to Minion, +2 to melee skills, and here we have 40% rarity, here we have +2 to spells. So there's a lot of items you can pick up for very cheap, but notice I'm always picking the most important affix that is target over here, which for me is going to be all minion skills +3. And I'm trying to get to Spirit, I'm trying to get some good affixes like Life and also Resistance onto those amulets and reselling them for 1 to 2 Divine. So now that you know how to search for the items actively, and we'll leave this on, if any item appears live, I'll show you guys what to do. And once you search those items, you want to be patient. It will take you maybe 1 to 2 days to pick up a bunch of them, but you'll definitely pick up the price much lower than the market price, which is important. And live search will help you to get the best chance of getting those items. Now once you get those items, as I'm going to show you on the next part, we can just slam the Exalted Orbs onto those items. This is an ING based adding affixes, but this is actually how I was able to slam for this amulet, which added +40 to Spirit on top of the +2 minion skills. Just adding those two with some good resistance and also energy shield, I was able to sell this amulet for 4 divine later in the game. Now here I do want to remind you guys, if you're lucky enough to pick up a magic grade items, you can even consider adding more affix to this together with using essence that can provide you with more certainty with adding more life modifiers or resistance modifiers that can be amazing. Of course, picking up a magical grade item, which I was unable to do so because everyone tried to buy them, something like this with only 2 affix is even better. The less affix they are, the better it is for you to have a chance of crafting this one into an even better item. I bought this one for 30 Exalt, and if I just slam a few Exalted Orbs, this one can definitely sell for close to 1 Divine. And look at the stats. There's rarity, there's all minion skills, there's also strength, which is really good to save some knots. Now around this time, if you're searching for items under 30 Exalt or under a particular budget, then you might come up to some item that is already full with 6 affixes. You don't have to ignore those. I bought most of those for 1 to 20 Exalt and sometimes 30 Exalt because they might have still some good affixes, like +3 to minion skills, and here is like +3 to projectiles. But those are full of affix, right? So what we can do is we can be using Orb of Chaos, which is a little more expensive compared to Exalted Orbs for a randomness chance. But now there's a chance of destroying those items, as I'll demonstrate to you guys very, very soon. Now finally, what are the items that you should be crafting and what item resell the best? When I talk about resale value, what I mean by that is with items that come out, oh, I'm trying to buy this one. Look at this 10 Exalt just came out, right? So with item with good resale value, what you want to do is you want to see how much they can resell even if you fail the crafting. And most of the item I can resell for 40 Exalt even if I fail the crafting. And that's pretty good, right? Because I bought them for under 30 Exalt. So the rings and those amulets tend to have the best resale value. And this is because this is less limited to class and also less limited to affixes. Some rings and also amulets with good life, energy shield, resistance, or magic find can be selling for a lot for any class. So finally, before we start the live demonstration, I do recommend you guys to look for item that fits your build and also your class, because you can be making profits at the same time. So you can see majority of the items I'm crafting is +3 to minion skills, because this fits my build and also my class. Now, if you're not doing this one, this can be a little harder, because if you know the best affix for your build and also best affix for your class, and likely you have been price checking for those items, you won't be missing out. And this will give you the best experience when you try to craft those items. Now that we covered everything, let's get to the exciting part. Oh yes, you guys better be mad, you blah too much, but I try to explain everything to you guys. So all the orbs you see over here, we won't be using them to avoid confusion. I'll put those orbs back into the stash. And here, this orb is not going back to the right stash. This stash is kind of useless, don't buy this one. This is a good stash. So what you can see is I will be crafting all of those items just using Exalted Orbs and also Chaos Orbs. And here you can see there's empty affixes for me to add affix onto this one. And so are those, they have empty affixes. And once all of the empty affixes are added, this will become something like 6 affix over here. And then I'll consider whether it's worth the risk of gambling a Chaos Orb onto this one. I'll just resell those amulets for about 30, 40, or even 1 divine by the resale value. So now let the gambling begin. Oh, I mean crafting. Crafting. Yes, crafting is gambling. Keep that in mind, guys. There's INGs and you can get it wrong right. So here we have Minion our skills. And in case you guys are wondering, why do I use Omens and why do I do other method? It is actually too costly to do other things other than slamming Exile Orbs. Because the base value for those items are under 30 Exalt, it is not worth it for me to use precious currencies. So this is why this is a little bit more gambling. So let's slam this one. Oh, I got cold resist, perfect. Oh, what did I do there? Did it go double? I think it went double onto mana and also armor, right? So here we have increased armor, here we have cold resist, we have rarity, we have double rarity. Look at this, it went to double rarity. This one can solve definitely 1/2 to divine. There you go, first success. And I'm not making this up. let's do a price check. So you can use the price checkers over here. So there is an item like this. So let's reduce the filters to do more price checking. Let's take away the armor. I don't think armor is that important. Nope, still doesn't show. Oh boy, this is going to be a good item. So I'm checking the basic. Look at this. Just having those 3 affixes is selling for 1 to 15 divine. Of course, I'll do a detailed price check after. So right now I'm going to put this in a special stash. This is a pretty good start, right? So this one I'm going to put in 10 divine. I'll adjust the price accordingly. This one can probably sell for at least 1 to 2 divine easily. So first success, right? So I bought those for less than 30 exalt. So here, let's stand once. I got increased armor. This was a good one to start with because it had life and also mana and also minion skills. And this one has intelligence. So this is an optional one. I might want to gamble with Chaos Orb, which I'll do after we do the rest of them. Okay, let's do this one. So this one's got energy shield, it's got strength, it's got armor. Let's see. Oh, did I? Oh, I don't click the wrong one. So, oh, all resist. Oh, that's a big hit, right? Look at that. Accuracy rating is not good, but all resist is massive. Look at this. It has energy shield, strength, all resist. This one could definitely sell for 1 to the divine. I'm not even risking this to do chance ops. So that's about 2 divine made. I invested the whole thing for less than 2 divine. I already made my money back. So let's try the next one. Oh, this is a big one too. +3 with rarity. Stamp. Oh, intelligence is good. Mana is good. Accuracy is bad. Again, I think I can sell this one for 1 to 2 divine. Just with rarity, mana, intelligence, and also skills. And a bit of resistance and strength. I'll keep this one. So, let's try this. Accuracy is not good. Maximum life is good. And strength and dexterity. This is the optional one. We can gamble with chaos after. So let's try this one. Evasion. Okay, this one, I like the all resist though. It has the spell. Maybe, guys, maybe this can be for an evasion build. Let's keep this one. Now, let's go to the next one. This one's pretty big. It has fire plus all 2 to melees, and also it has spirit. Let's see what we can get. We got accuracy, we got energy shield, we got mana. Oh, we got cold. I'm not too big fan of this one, so we can gamble this one further. Now, over here, I did buy increased rarity and also increased spirit one. Let's see if we can get a plus rank to skills, which is much more rare. Oh, strength is good. Lightning resist is not bad. Actually, I think I'll just resell this one. I'm not going to gamble on this. Some people might want the spirit. Let's resell this one for 1 divine, probably, or 2 divine. We'll price it down. So what I do is I list it for like 6 divine and then change it to 2, 3 every few hours. Eventually it comes to 1 divine. I just leave it there. Usually it gets sold pretty fast in 1 to 2 days. So this particular ring has 40% rarity found. I'm trying to get a good roll. It's already maxed out. Look at that. So what's been maxed out is it has evasion, mana. I don't like the life. I'm not a big fan of the strength. It double rolled rarity, that's why. So maybe it's potential we can gamble on this ring too. Now, actually, this ring is actually pretty good by itself. It doesn't have life though. Let's gamble on this one. So as we keep going, notice all the rest of them already are full with affixes. So those 5 are pretty successful. Those 4 are the optional ones, and those 5 already have full affixes. So let's filter those. So this one has 3 to minion skills, but it doesn't have all the right ones. It's a low roll, so we're going to gamble on this one with chaos. Now for this one, we have increased rarity, minion skill. This is actually not bad. I don't think I want to gamble this one. I can resell this one for maybe 1 divine. So not risking that one. And let's look at this one. It has intelligence, all resist. It doesn't have Spirit. It doesn't have minion ranks or any ranks, so we can gamble this one. Actually, this is a rain, right? This rain is actually not bad. Let's just resell it. So I probably can resell this one for 1 divine. And in case you guys wonder why I know the prices, I've been price checking them like this. So with the filters, I price check them like do, and then we see it. So I have price checked those before, so I'm not making this up, guys. This one has minion skills, has energy shield, it has critical damage. The damage recoup as mana is really good, but I don't need the evasion. I don't need the critical damage. This can be a gambling. And finally, we have massive increased accuracy, projectile, energy shields, critical. This one can resell. This one can probably sell for 1 to 2 divine. Yes, sometimes as you pick up those items for less than 30 exalt, you can instantly resell them and they can sell for 1 to 2 divine. Even if they don't sell for 1 to 2 divine, you resell them for 40 exalt, you still make a profit. So all of those over here, I'll be trying to list to 3 divine, then 2 divine, then 1 divine, then down to 40 exalt. I can resell for 30 exalt, and I don't lose anything, right? So now, coming over to the final crafting, we'll be using Chaos Orbs. Remember, Chaos Orbs will render nice. So we're hoping to remove the mana over here, remove the spell damage. Oh, I removed the mana, did I? Oh, I removed the big one. I removed the minion skills. So this one is ruined. So this is why I say you do Chaos Orb finally, and you don't want to risk it, you just resell them. But if you risk it, there's a chance to remove your good affixes. And this one's not going to be worth much. It has good stats though, so let's try 35 exalt. I don't think it's going to work much, but let's leave it there. So, you see? Sometimes it can fail. So here I'm hoping to take away the critical damage, take away the evasion. Oh, got life, not bad. Oh, energy shield, not bad. This actually can be an energy shield setup. Well, I don't think I need to risk it, so I think this is good. Because I already tried twice, and this made it better. So let's check this over here for 1 to 2 divine. And over here, I'm trying to get away the casting speed, try to get away the armor. Oh, it become all projectile skills. It went for all minion skills, become all projectile skills. That's okay, I'm going to try to resell this one. And over here, try to get away the strength, get away the accuracy. And they become our attributes. And this one's kind of ruined. So, and it goes there. So there's a chance of failing. So this is why I show to you guys. Now here, all melees, I want to keep this one. And I want to get some better rolls. Life regen is not good. Mechanical energy shield is not good. Yes. Okay, this one's going everywhere. This is a strange mana one. I'm going to try a little more. Manage. Okay, evasion energy shield. How many skills? I want to get away of the life regen. Something's going to give. Okay, this is not bad. So the life regen's gone. Life regen's very bad. So keep the melee skills. We get alive, we get armor, evasion, a bit of resistance, and the spirit. Probably can sell for 40 exalt. We'll see. And notice I'm using Chaos Orbs. Each of the Chaos Orbs costs 2.5 exalt. Keep that in mind. So I started with 31 Chaos Orbs and about 40 exalt. So yes, it will cost you a little bit crafting, even using those cheaper methods. So this one is already full. I'm trying to get rid of the life per enemy kill if I can. I don't think this is too bad, but let's see what we can do. Oh, resistance, not bad. So we get the resistance, and here, can I get rid of the armor? Oh, this actually could work. Because sometimes for the archer classes or for the Deadeyes, they might want something that can also gain life. So let's look into selling this one. It has some decent resistance, it has some decent stuff. And there we go. So by my estimates, I spent about 2 divine. I can make anywhere from 2 minimum for sure. I can make anywhere from 5 to 10 divine using this method. And it took us about 10 minutes to do the whole demonstration. So I would say probably made about 5 to 10 divine. And trust me guys, next video when I sell those, I'll tell you guys how much I made on those. And I probably want to list this for 10 divine. Let's do 8 or 7 divine for now and slowly lower this one to 1 divine. It's easy listing, right? Now, it took me about 1 to 2 days to collect those items. So keep that in mind, guys. Oh, this is good. Let's buy this. I always get the blue ones. Blue ones are the best because you can be crafting more. There's a lot more options. There's a lot more better rolls you can get. Don't buy the corrupted ones. So yes, took about 1 to 2 days to filter them while I play the game. This is the harder part. You buy the cheaper ones and then craft like this. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video. all the notes will be available for you guys in the links below. And as I come across more method and also more crafting advanced method, including the special crafting method, including meta crafting, and also including ray forging, and also item valving, and also corruption gambling, I'll also update you guys on those advanced crafting methods. And finally, before I finish, big thank you for everyone that's been supporting me. And if you like the videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also subscribe for future videos. Now, before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is going to be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.